I turn away from Terraria for just a little while, and out they come with all kinds of interesting news. The developers have recently released some delicious new information on the progress of mobile Terraria, as well as console Terraria, all versions. They began with some remarks on last year's efforts. They wrote, "Happy New Year, Terrarians. Welcome to the latest Terraria community update on development progress across all active platforms. We are feeling really good about how 2019 ended up, and even more excited about what could turn out to be the best year yet to be a Terrarian. So, without further ado, let's dive right into the latest and greatest across the various development teams and within the community." And they began with this banner: PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, all being developed by Pipeworks. Isn't it weird to see these all lumped together? I don't think they've done that before. It's certainly not a bad thing. Anyway, with that being said, let's see what they had to say. Hello Terrarians, a quick update for you on Terraria for consoles. You may have noticed that we combined PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch together this month. That is by design because we are on the road to version parity. You know, I was this close to releasing a 2020 predictions video about 2 weeks ago, and this was going to be one of my predictions. I'm not saying I'm an oracle, maybe that was obvious to a lot of us. I just wanted to say I was right. Anyway, they continued. Content-wise, the Nintendo Switch team has caught up with the PS4 and Xbox One, and they're now working on the same updates for different platforms. More specifically, the team has been working at 2 big updates: a full Korean localization for PS4 and Nintendo Switch, and porting the PC 1.3.5 content to consoles. We're just waiting on a few more localizations before the Korean localization is integrated and ready to review. The 1.3.5 update is currently being tested by our quality assurance team on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and Switch before we submit to ReLogic for a quality check, and then submission to first party for release. After those patches are released, we're looking forward to working on additional bugs reported by the community and put in some very focused work on split screen and local wireless for the Nintendo Switch. No timeline on the release for anything stated, but stay tuned for more information. To help ease the wait, we have included at least one perhaps long-awaited spoiler below. And they shared this. And so apparently this is something that a lot of you guys on console have been clamoring for. I don't have a console version of this. I have the mobile version and the PC version, but evidently this is something that a lot of people wanted, so there you have it. And I know the Switch version is a relatively new release, but coming across all this information, this game still feels like a game nearing its initial release date. It's kind of strange. There's so much work being done on a game that could easily have been deemed done years ago. It's pretty amazing. Anyway, though, that was the console news for now. Pretty exciting stuff. Doesn't sound like there's going to be any drawn-out wait for 1.3.5 and for future development. And I'll go ahead and say that my other prediction for that 2020 predictions video was going to be that Journey's End would hit all versions of Terraria by the end of the year. But enough about me and my silly predictions. Let's go on to the mobile news, because I'm sure a lot of people are interested in that. Mobile is obviously being developed by DR Studios, not Pipeworks, and for that they had this to say. January has certainly flown by fast. As we mentioned last month, we've been very focused on a lot of the foundational and systematic work that is needed to make the in-progress controller and customization update everything that it needs to be. With a lot, but certainly not all, of that behind us, we can finally start to show off some of what we have accomplished with controller support on mobile. And they included this video. Regarding the video, they wrote, "As you can see from the video, we've got control banners in and functioning in-game, and we're about 90% of the way there, though certainly the last 10% is where all the perfecting and testing comes in. In the last couple of months, we've been busy building on the controller foundations to get a really solid feel for where mobile needs to be. And this has also informed the direction we'll be taking with the customization side of the update, which we will tackle once we get controller locked down. Here are some fun things from behind the scenes, and they shared 2 images. I'll just go through those now. And while I'm showing them, I do have to remark, DR Studios, unlike Pipeworks, is having to play catch up with the mobile version, aren't they? I mean, they started with 1.3 and they did quick work of that, but I have to say, to their credit, they're certainly not racing to pump out subpar features. It sounds like they really want to tinker with this controller support before they move on. But even so, I still expect, as I said earlier, that Journey's End is going to hit mobile sometime before the end of the year. They've been so quick with everything they've done. I know that they're not racing to put stuff out, but they continue to surprise me with just how quick they get stuff done. It's kind of amazing. Anyway, they continued with, let's see what else we've been working on. And they shared this, an Apple TV version. When we thought about getting controller support back on mobile devices, we knew it would be a natural fit to bring the game to Apple TV as well. That's all for this month. We will hopefully be able to share some more juicy tidbits between now and the conclusion of the controller and customization update. So stay tuned. No exact date on when this will be in your hands either, but we do not expect it will be too terribly far away. Until next time. How do they have the time for all of this? An Apple TV version? This is starting to look like Skyrim, which, as we know, has been ported to pretty much everything, to the point where even the developers joke about it. Yeah, as I said earlier, DR Studios, those are some industrious folks there. It makes me feel kind of lazy, really, to see all the stuff they're doing. Speaking of which, I've clearly been deficient in my Discord monitoring. I haven't totally neglected it, and I checked fairly recently, but evidently I've missed some stuff, so there's going to be more to come in the near future. And they said there's going to be more news actually through official channels in the near future, and when they say it, I believe it. So stay tuned here for any further Terraria news. Thanks for watching, everyone, and of course, Happy New Year if I haven't said that to you yet. It's shaping up to be a busy one.